Welcome to the Savon Experience. As we prepare the show for you, go ahead and grab yourself a libation, hit that like and share and subscribe button, and we'll be right with you in 5 minutes. Keep your eyes on me applied. Get it, don't be timid when you with it, plotted. Love up on it, nibble on it, leave it. I don't want no drip, baby, spread like you mean it. So fine and spicy, baby, jump up on it. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, hit the right spot. Ooh, pressure. What's up, y'all? What's up, Simone Jennings? Hey, boo-boo, it's been a minute. It's been a good golly old minute since I've been on the YouTube. But I love my YouTube folks. I just been on these TikTok streets doing little different things that YouTube does not allow. But I told y'all I was going to come back. So I'm coming back. Okay? I've got my deck ready, honey. I'm outside on the lanai. I don't have no cheesecake, but I got me a good old drink. And I'm about to talk about some things on tonight, honey. So I'll know. If y'all saw my post earlier, then you know that I'm talking about the Dave Chapelle special. Now, I know. Everybody done talked about it. You're probably tired of talking. What's up, randomness of Veil? Okay, we've changed from the evolution to the randomness. Now, you know it ain't nothing random about you, baby. What's up, boo-boo? So what's up, Nivea? So, so I had to get, look, y'all, this how serious I am about this topic tonight. I typed her out and printed her. So I used the printer and some ink. The printer, I hope my earrings. Y'all, is my earrings rubbing on this damn mic? If it's making a whole bunch of noise, let me know, because I would take this whole. I would take this one off if that's what she doing. And I don't even know why I got this in my ear anyway. Really. If y'all getting feedback from this, I'll take this hoe out. But or at least this one side. Let me take this one side out. How about I just do it like that? That way, y'all not getting all that rubbing if that's what she do. I'm good. Okay. All right, Cut It Black. Yes. So listen, I'm just gonna tell y'all right now. I watched the Dave Chapelle special. I did. Prior to me watching the special, I listened to a lot of people's commentary, response, feelings about the special. Let me just go on and put this up real fast. Okay, don't hear anything from me. Okay, well then let me put her back in. Let me put her back in because, you know, I like to block out the world because y'all know I'm sensational. Yeah, notes, honey. And look, I have bullets. Look, bullets, numbers. I got some shit that I want to say. I just got some shit that I want to say. And I'm going to keep it brief because we got the cool down with Miss Jasmine Divine tonight. And y'all know I'm rolling through. Got to roll through my girl. Got to come in at least once a month to check in on my folks. Okay? But anyway, before I get into all of that, before I do all of that, let me just make sure I put this down. Listen, the thoughts and opinions shared on the Save On experience are just that. Thoughts and opinions, okay? Sometimes alleged, but viewers, be warned now. Now, I ain't trying to get into this space because you know they got cancel culture out there. Let me move this brand on out the way. Move it on out the way. I want to respect everybody's feelings. These are my views. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. And I respect everyone else's. But that's about the last time I'm going to say that because we're going to get right on into it. Because, listen, it is what it is. Hope you love me when you're done. I'm an old girl. And I got to give it to you straight tonight. Okay. So if you ain't seen the special, you need to watch it for yourself so you can assess and gather your own opinions and thoughts about the special. Okay. I really suggest everyone does it. It's very easy to take excerpts and clips and do like the ministers do, you know, have a good old Sunday service and pull scriptures that you want that's going to feed your narrative and pour it out there to let that fit your purpose. It's to me, this is one of those situations and or scenarios, in my humble opinion. Did I like the special? I absolutely did like the special. Did I think the special was funny? I laughed hysterically. As I do with all comedians. Okay? Comedians attack a lot of things. They attack politics. They attack sensitive subjects. They attack family secrets. They attack a lot of they attack a lot of personal things that's happened to them, and they release it through comedy. And a lot of time they spew hate as well through comedy. They do. Okay. But once again, it's comedy. And I am aware that how when you have a huge platform, how that platform can take whatever you say and use it. But that's still, in my opinion, that's on the people who are taking it and using it. They felt the way they felt even before he said a damn thing. So just because he said something wasn't like, oh, that's how I'm going to feel. Most people felt like they felt with anything, and they find justification in what you do. Just like a lot of people felt like you saw it live, 4th of July in Vegas. Bitch. Really, Nivea? I remember when you was in Vegas. Really, Nivea? You saw it live? Because I think he taped it in Michigan, but you saw it live. I ain't mad at you. Yeah, I'm not mad at you. But anyway, so glad to see you too, Simone. Thank you so much for joining. Y'all make sure y'all like and share, okay? All right. So he had an array of things. And I'm kind of shocked. Out of all of the topics that he had a lot of topics that he spoke about on the show. And it was more than just the trans community and the trans experience. It really was. And I'm kind of shocked that I didn't hear more people from other areas have a point of view around some of the things that he said. And I'll start with my number one bullet. I'm just going to jump right in because I'm not trying to be here all day. He had COVID jokes. And in the height of the pandemic right now, you know what I'm saying? People's family is dying and affected by COVID, and he had COVID jokes. He spared no feelings for those who were affected by COVID, those impacted by COVID. He also admitted that he was affected by COVID and how he felt when he realized he had COVID and what he thought prior to having COVID. You know what I'm saying? So he touched on some really sensitive topics. He said something. He said that he was the Magic Johnson of COVID. And I was like, oh, so that was an HIV and AIDS slur? Like, I ain't seen nobody pick it up and say nothing about that yet. Once again, I'm not attacking and saying that you should. Hey, Leslie Boo Boo. What's up, Boo Boo? What's up, experienced members? Yes, God. He talked about how when he had gotten COVID, he referenced himself as being dirty, because he had caught COVID. He had made a joke about molestation. He had a joke that said that he was molested by a minister and how he loved it, and that he loved shooting in the minister's mouth and he wanted it, or the preacher's mouth and he wanted it. I'm not seeing any outrage about that personally. And we all know how the Catholic Church is being attacked right now with a lot of the pedophile preachers that are in the church today, doing things to not just little boys, but little girls. But historically, we've been talking about little boys. There was several jokes about that. I'm trying to see the headlines around that right now. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about how he blew in the priest's mouth. I'm like, okay. He talked about the Asian hate segment. He had a segment about Asian hates and black folks beating up on Asians. And he referenced, he made reference of this happening. And he also made a reference to his body fighting the COVID virus. And he made a reference to that being like the asymmetry of blacks fighting against Asian. I mean, it was a lot of, no one mentioned the fact that his trans friend, right, I'm going to touch on that too, Nivea. He talked about a lot of things in this segment. And although I am part of the community, I don't want to desensitize anything, but I also don't want to sensationalize things that I don't feel like should be sensationalized. People are going to take what I say, what you say, what he say. They're going to take whatever they take out of it, and they're going to believe whatever they want to believe out of it, and be honest about it. They believed and felt what they felt long before he said anything to it. So I don't feel like he needs to hold the torch for just the LGBTQ community. There are some things he said that I agree with, and there's some things he said that I don't agree with. I'm not trying to be problematic. I'm just saying what I got to say. Hey, Willeen, how you doing, boo-boo? He made a lot of aliens in reference to Jews being aliens, and we know how the Jews, how people feel like
how people feel about the Jews in the entertainment community as far as running Hollywood and all those things. He made a lot of slurs around that. And let's just back up for a second. Let's be let's just reflect back on the whole Comedy Central Dave Chapelle show. I'm waiting for somebody to tell me which Dave Chapelle was not straddling the fence and being well, I'm not gonna say straddling the fence, but was not being extremely, vocal on a lot of issues, even on his show. The Black Klansman, like, I somebody help me make it make sense. Because it's right now, it's not making sense to me. I don't understand what the outrage is, honestly. Like, I know there's some things that he said, but these are jokes. And I'm not trying to desensitize because I'm not going to keep doing that. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Take what you take out of it, okay? So, his LGBTQ jokes for me started when he was talking about the baby. And he was like, I don't need y'all to abort the baby. Now, that shit was funny. I don't care what you got to say. That shit was funny. And right now, with the abortion being, one of the key topics, as far as legislation and law, the show was, thank you, Nivea, the show was very on brand for him. And it's also, let's be clear, it's also why we watch. Either you rock with Dave Chapelle or you don't. And I'm not sitting here as a Dave Chapelle stan. I'm just saying his show was on brand with the things that he do. Dave Chapelle has always made me very nervous as far as watching his show, his comedy shows on Netflix, as well as the Dave Chapelle show. A lot of the segments that I've seen on Dave Chapelle, I've watched with Bay, and I was just sitting there the whole time, like, embarrassed and just like, oh my god, because he's always, in my opinion, he's always taken it too far. But I believe that's also what makes him extremely funny. Some painful things are funny. I'm just saying, you never know what you never know what he gonna say. So he gave us the history of the baby. He talked about on the special, he talked about how the baby had gone unpunished for killing someone in Walmart. Like, no one really cared about him killing someone. No one really cared about him smacking no girl. No one cared about all the abusive things that he's done. But as soon as he said something about the gay community, it was like, oh my God, he's canceled. Everybody just, they went in on him, and he was at this point now having to take accountability for the things that he's done and or said. Now, I feel like this. I don't feel like I don't feel like that we did anything, I feel like what happened to the baby and the consequences of what he said and done, I feel like it was very on brand and it should have happened. And the reason why I feel like that is not because I feel like that my community is any more special or more important than anybody else. I just feel like that my community has been the community that has been overlooked for such a long time. And for every, where there's classification, where there's racism, where there's ageism, where there's colorism, whatever the case it is, everybody's had a point to where it was the topic and it was the point and it was the beginning of change for that particular group and or community, right? And right now it's like, okay, we're not taking, being mistreated. We're not taking being, discriminated against. We're not taking, being, the minority that no one cares about. So obviously, as comes with freedom of speech, also comes freedom of consequences, right? So, but once again, he made a very good point. Not to say that he shouldn't have been punished. I feel like he should have been punished for whoever he killed in the Walmart, slapping ogre, everything that he's done. He needed to have consequences for those, in addition to what he did to the LGBTQ community, because a lot of people in the LGBTQ community is supporting him. A lot of women are supporting him. A lot of people are supporting him. And when you become the face of so many people, you have to realize the part that you play and how things change. He was definitely being him. And I'm not going, you know what, Demetrius? I'm not even going to say he was being him. He was being a comedian. And comedians make fun of things that provoke laughter. He did his job. He was equally inappropriate to an array of topics, people, things. I get it. And I can respect that. Do I agree with some of the things in the jokes he said? Absolutely not. I don't agree with a lot of stuff I don't agree with a lot of shit that y'all do. And y'all not agree with a lot of shit that I do. Don't make it right, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He did what he's been known to do. He did what he was paid to do. Now, everything that came out of it and awareness, I also stand for the awareness, because I'm not saying that I don't want any of my trans brothers and sisters to be abused, mistreated, killed, any of those things. I also don't want my non-trans community members to be hurt, assaulted, molested by priests, you know what I'm saying, smacked by the baby or the granny or whoever. I don't want any of that to happen. Now, Flame, I'm not gonna get onto Flame because I'm on the fence with Flame with a lot of things. I think I'm just gonna leave that there, Sly. I'm just gonna leave that there because Flame to me has been problematic in so many ways, and I'm just gonna leave that there. I don't ever want to nullify someone's stance and or position, and I feel like Flame does that a lot, and I know that comes from Flame's. We're around the same age group pretty much, so I know I can understand where Flame comes from, but I also can understand how that feeling and that thought process could be problematic for a lot of people today as we're progressing towards change. I get it, and I'm just gonna leave that there. I'm not gonna go further with that. But let's continue on. So he talked about the baby. He talked about slave. Listen, there was one joke that he said, and I'm not gonna lie, I laughed. He said that what if during the time of slavery, and I shouldn't be laughing, he applauded how we as a community come together and get shit done. The LGBTQ community, holistically, we get shit done. And he was like, what if there was an LGBT community during slavery? He was like, bitch, slavery would have been abolished a long time ago because we get shit done. Right? And he's right about that. He's absolutely right about that. He also talked about social constructs within the community itself. Now, he didn't speak on the gay community because he can't speak on that, but he can speak about how, we treat each other within our own communities. And he spoke on that. But I ain't gonna lie, the gay slave joke, it was funny. I'm not gonna say it was appropriate, but a lot of shit ain't inappropriate. Yeah. So he talked about the new gays versus the old gays. Girl, if y'all ain't seen it, I'm not gonna put his material out there. You need to go watch it. It was funny to me. It was funny. In my opinion, it isn't true, but with reasons like the old gays and new gays, like it mean the new gays is not playing, and I'm here for that. Because we're at a point where we need change, and part of the older gays, we didn't do a lot of stuff because of the fact that it was a different time, it was different sets of rules and repercussions around what we didn't do, and we were trying to survive and take care of our families and live in a world that didn't really accept us. So a lot of people did what they had to do. Okay, not making excuses, but that was the time we lived in. It's a different time now. So we definitely have some younger pioneers who don't give a F and doing what they do. I do believe that the sensitivity level, in my opinion, is a little too sensitive sometimes. But I feel that about a lot of things, not just the LGBT, not the alphanumeric community. I feel that about a lot of things. We're too sensitive about a lot of things and not sensitive enough about things that matter, in my opinion. That's just me. Okay? He had a glory holes joke. You know what? He knew a lot about, what I will say, he knew a lot about gay culture. Oh, he knew a whole lot about gay culture. When he was talking about glory holes and the adventures of such, I ain't gonna lie, I looked over the bay and I was like, listen, I remember a moment when, and I had to tell about a glory hole story. And then I was looking at TV like, Dave, and then wait a minute, what you know about glory holes? I mean, I do not believe that Dave Chapelle is transphobic at all. I'm gonna start off there. I don't believe he's transphobic. He's a comedian. He talked about this one bar incident in Texas where a lady came over him with no mask on, and how how they treated him and how he realized that the lady was with, some, Caucasian members of the LGBTQ community. And he talked about how they handle things versus how the Black LGBTQ community handle things. I was like, and so he talked about how situations are just different. And then he talked about how in that moment, he noticed that even within being a part of the alphanumeric community, they access certain privilege of being of the Caucasian community, regardless of the alphanumeric status of them being Caucasians and how they treated him. And being in the community as a Black alphanumeric member of the community, baby, I definitely see how a lot of Caucasians will still exercise their privilege in spite of when they get pissed off. And I can't say that if I had that type of privilege that I wouldn't exercise it either. I think it's human nature, but let's not be ignorant of it. Let's not be ignorant of it. Because I'm damn sure if you come in my hood acting a damn fool, I'm going to exercise my Black privilege and with my Black folks. I'm just saying. Just saying. So we all do that. So he talked about that. He talked about how this one lesbian woman, there was an article about him beating up a lesbian woman. And he said, shit, when I saw old girl, I thought it was a dude. It wasn't until she told me that she wasn't a dude. And then he was like, when she came up and she was being aggressive about her girlfriend, she presented herself as a dude. She stands as a dude. She was fighting as a dude. And y'all know me. If y'all have watched the Save On Experience any given number of times, you guys have always heard me say, listen, don't walk up to somebody with some energy if you don't feel like you can get that energy back. I'm the type of person, if you walk up and you want to sprawl off and hit me, I don't care who you are, I'm hitting your ass back. If you are a female, working up to a man and hitting a man, and he hit your ass back and you popping all over him, I just feel like, me personally, don't get mad if he hit you back. Keep your hands to yourself if you don't want to get dusted like a dude and you feel like there's a disadvantage. Use your words or leave the situation alone. I don't think anybody should be subject to abuse, physical or verbal. Period. If you don't want to get hit, don't hit nobody. If you don't want to get cursed out, don't curse out nobody. But when they get the best of you, don't try to put yourself in a victim stance. Oh my God, he hit me. He's a man. You knew he was a man when you rolled up to him with them hands. And I know a few women out there, baby, who got some hands that's stronger than a man, baby. And I'm not gonna say, oh my God, she hit me. No, I'm gonna fight. I'm fighting, honey. I'm fighting you like you Craig and everybody else. I don't want to say Craig because people don't think I'm talking about Craig, the writer Stewart. No, but y'all know what I'm saying. I'm not doing that. So don't come with that energy if you can't take what's coming back at you. Don't bring it. That's all I'm saying. If you know that you're not in that weight class, if you're not in that strength class, if you're not in that gender class or whatever the case may be, don't come with the energy. Hey, you can be two men fighting. And if you know that man, he's pumping 300, lifting 300 pounds a day and you can barely hit 50, don't start no fight with him, honey. He knock your ass out. Don't get mad. Don't you start no fight. You take your ass home. Put your tail between your legs and take your ass home is what you do. There's no shame in walking away from getting your ass beat. No shame. Huh. I'm just saying. I'm just telling y'all how it is tonight. In my humble opinion. And some folks ain't gonna like it. All right. Oh, well, girl, you'll be all right. So he talked about that. And I was like, you know what? You play, you get, y'all know what I say. You play it, you get it. So listen, he talked about one Ohio lady. And this was more of an experience as a celebrity and how some people feel like when just because you are a celebrity or you someone, hell, it could be anybody. It could be me, Nivea, Jasmine. We content creators. We may be small content creators, but nonetheless, we are content creators, girl. Somebody can see what I'm saying right now, and I can be in Kroger's and Black. Oh, I saw what you said on YouTube. Okay. And girl, you better keep it in the comments like I kept it on YouTube. Because if you come to me with some energy outside of that, you're going to get what you get and don't fall victim if you get what you get. So he was talking about how this one lady ran into him and was like, was following him while he was shopping and, going from every store. He was like, she was going to stores that he just knew that she, like, first of all, you don't go in these type of stores. Like, you know what I'm saying? Certain people, they just don't go to certain type of stores. And then he was walking to his car, and right when he got his car, she was like, "Oh, you're Dave Chapelle." And, she wanted to go off on him not liking women and other things like that. And he said, as a human, he had to think about why she felt that way. And he reflected, right? I mean, and then he made a joke about it because he's a what? He's a comedian. He's a comedian. He made a joke about it. He's a comedian. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying he did what comedians do. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not trying to go to no show. I'm just gonna be very honest. A lot of times, the comedy shows I've gone to, a lot of times it is a lot of the comedy has been centrally focused on the gay lifestyle, ministers and things like. Baby, let me just tell you something. The folks today wouldn't be able to stand Bernie Mac, and I love me some Bernie Mac, honey, and his milk and cookies and him downstairs. Where was the lie though? Let's just talk about it though. Like, it would be different if they were pushing lies. Baby, we was him downstairs. That's some shit that we would say. Him downstairs. Mark, I don't know if you're watching, but I am on a live. Him downstairs, honey. You know what I'm saying? All of that. All of that. Let me tell Mark I'm on the live, honey. So, I'm just saying, like, all of that. Baby, they wouldn't be able to take Bernie Mac, baby. I want some milk and cookies. I ain't going down there, girl. Him downstairs. As that little kid, that's exactly how I spoke. Him downstairs. I'm not messing with him. Giving all that energy. What's up, Natalia? I love, and think about it though, like, all the comedians talked about a lot of things. For a lot of the African American communities, the biggest topics were racism, church, that nasty uncle, you know what I'm saying? That nasty auntie, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of things that we laugh at what we identify, because a lot of times we have people in our circles and we know. You know what I'm saying? We laugh at it, right? Not saying it's right, but just saying. It is what it is, right? So to me, I feel like he did a great job showing the difference between a lot of issues, both in the LGBTQ community and out. I actually have to say that it made me think why there was not more empowerment of each other, because he brought light of that too, of how, we don't really stand up for each other within the community. We will have this whole united front towards other people, but within the community, within ourselves, we still have this divide. Baby, Simone, the glory hole. I was like, first of all, where was the lie? Where was the lie? I have to tell y'all about the glory hole story for me, but I might say that for my members, because my members deserve it. So, let me see what my other note is, girl. I got my notes. Honey. I talked about the Ohio lady. Let me write that off, honey. Chick. How I feel like he did a great job with that. Okay. So he then asked the question that we all have asked, right? Because he started talking about the transgender community, and he started talking about, well, what is gender, right? And I know when he started talking, and I was like, oh Lord, this is one of those areas that folks got real mad. And from a hetero normative perspective, I knew the things that he was going to say, and I knew how my community was going to take it, and I knew this is where the plot started to thicken, right? This is when the custard got real thick. This is when the meat and potatoes start touching each other, for those who like things to touch on the same plate. This is when it was like, oh my God, Lord Jesus, he done hit the shit fan, right? And he said, what is a woman? What is a man? Walking towards the trans topic. And I said, oh Lord, here we go. And he talked about some laws in North Carolina, and that was relative to the restroom laws, and how he felt like some of the laws that were being put in place, who were they to protect? Were they to protect the trans community, or were they to protect the transphobic community? And I felt like he did a great job talking about some key things that I felt like that we in the LGBTQ community could also um could relate to. You know, he talked about how he didn't feel that, you know, you should go to the restroom that was presented or noted on your birth certificate, because he was like, I'm not trying to be in the bathroom and then the urinal, and I'm at a urinal, and then here comes Miss Lady and she's standing next to me and she done hiked up her skirt and her dress and she's using the bathroom. He's like, that doesn't make me feel comfortable, and I damn sure know it's not gonna make her feel comfortable. So like, how is that helping? How is that protecting her? So he was like, I don't agree with that, you know. And of course he made it a joke about what he would agree to, once again, as a comedian. But if you listen to the message, he's also saying that he felt like that people should be able to go to the community, to the restroom that they relate with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and what we all know is we ain't even there trying to, honey, listen, there's difference between being a pervert and a difference between being transgender. And I think people keep trying to put, you know, people of the alphanumeric community into this perversion category and forgetting, or maybe not forgetting, they're taking some of the things that they may have experienced, and I'm going to say from the hetero community, such molestations that they've had from the hetero community, from Uncle so-and-so that was touching the niece, the granddaughter, the daughter, and you're trying to place that on the LGBT community. Baby, we got enough problems. That ain't ours. Keep that where it's at. Keep that where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Keep that where it's at. It's my mama calling now. Y'all, I ain't been live in so long, they don't think, they just don't know. Or she could be telling me to shut up. Let me see what she wants. She could be telling me to hush, girl. I don't know. That's how you know folks don't have their notifications on or ignoring them. But then again, you know, I've not been on for a while, so they probably was like, girl, yeah, I'm gonna act like they just been on YouTube waiting on me. They ain't. They ain't. But I will tell y'all though, in an hour, because I'm gonna wrap this up in about 30 minutes because I gotta get ready for who? The Jasmine Divine show, the cool down with Miss Jasmine Divine and family. The pre-shade to the Night of Shade on Tuesdays. And I'm just look how this outdoor lighting got my face just looking fabulous, bitch. Giving you authenticity, girl. The no green screen, just you know what? Anyway, let me get back to my topics because I'm getting off topic. Y'all know how I do, girl. I get all caught up in myself because I'm so narcissistic. But then he did ask questions. He spoke the truth about the inappropriate dangers of the law to trans people, where it relates to the restroom. And I was like, okay. I feel it. Really, Jasmine. Yes, the pre-Night of Shade night. Hey Kimmy Boo Boo. I saw your updated pic on Instagram too, girl. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Jasmine said, and it starts. So, you know, I'm just, you know, the opening act. You know, because she's on tour, girl. I'm just the opening act, girl. So then, let me check that off, girl, because I felt like, okay, he made a point. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, when I was looking at everybody else's comments about his show and the things they said about his show, I was like, okay, I don't want to weigh in on this until I've had an opportunity to watch it for myself. Because I tell people all the time, do your own research, come to your own conclusion. Don't just bandwagon and jump on things. And he talked about in his show how someone wrote an article about him years ago, and everyone kept regurgitating that same article. Like people kept taking that one thing and applying it to him on everything and not looking at any of the work that he's done since then, and actually taking a look and dig deep into that work to see if any of those statements or facts were true. We know people do that because we've seen some of our own people in the community get attacked by things that either happened years ago or get attacked by things people said happened, and they're automatically found guilty. And even though they've done a slew of things to prove that comment wrong, people still throw that same comment to them. What's up, Marcus? Yeah, we know about Insecure. Thank you, baby. But right now, we're talking about the Save On experience. Okay? All right. Yes. You can tell Insecure about my show if you'd like, so they'll know about me, because we all know about Insecure. Hey, Marcus, boo-boo, from Virginia. So anyway, so he was talking about the, gender construct discussion. He spoke about the moment that he was directly attacked and stated that he was, during that statement, the article that I was referring back, it stated that he was punching down on the community. And he said, I don't even understand what that meant, right? He said someone took that article and totally just took everything he said and made it a total fabrication and just found him guilty. And everybody since then has punished him for it, even though what he said wasn't what they said he said, right? And we know what that's like, right? Not taking up for him. I'm just saying he's also took accountability in his show of the things that he said and how people can come to those conclusions. But then he also took it with a grain of salt as a comedian and also said, well, no, that's not true because I've done this, that, and the other. I'm just saying, y'all know what it's like. Y'all know what it's like. So I'm not here for it. I'm not here for him being canceled. I will still watch his stuff. Say what you want to say. I'm still going to watch it. I'm an individual. I can do what I want. And I don't love my community or love us any less. Okay? So then he went on to talk about another topic he talked about that I wanted to talk about was how people, when he was talking about his first experience with a person that he met her mother in a bar, and she was talking and she told him about her daughter that was in Hollywood doing all these great things, and then she had showed him a picture of her and he was like, oh, she's beautiful. And then when she said that, he said he instantly noticed how the mother's face changed and was like, she's trans. And he was like, okay, first of all, I kind of knew that she probably was, because he talked about some of her features being a bit strong. And I know a lot of people who are within the community, that's a sensitive topic, right? Here's what I don't get though. So for some of the people who are like, oh my God, he's wrong and he shouldn't have said that and he shouldn't have did this and he shouldn't have did that, I'm going to challenge you, because some of those same people who felt that way aren't always the same people who are fighting for those same people when they're mad at them. I have seen a whole bunch of trans on trans violence and they want to call them a brick. She's a brick. I'll wait and let that sit and simmer. A brick. How many of the girls have called other girls bricks? Huh? Oh, you want to move on? Okay, great. How many of them called him Bob the Builder? Girl, you talking about yourself right now. Okay, yeah, I have called a few girls Bob the Builder. So, girl, when the straight folk look at you and be like, something you chiseled like a motherfucking statue, girl, it is what it is. You got mad because you felt some kind of way about it. Okay, girl, but let's talk about, and I'm going to say cis women because that is a scientific term. It's not meant to be derogatory. But there's a lot of women out there, honey, who was born who look like bricks and rocks and stones and craters and Medusas and cats and lions, tigers and bears and Bob. So I'm just saying, I am for respect of all people. I'm not saying that my trans community should not be respected. We should be respected. And the reason, for those who don't understand, the reason why the trans community and the awareness is so heightened right now is because it's been so many years of people not making us important, and you have to make us important. And that's why we are all in your face right now. It's not that we don't feel like you are any less important. We feel like we are tired of you fucking with us. Period. But just like I feel about the N-word, don't be getting mad when the non melanated person calls you the N-word, and then you want to call each other the N-word. Okay? If I had an issue with the word bitch, which I know a lot of people do, I can't be like some bitch, don't call me no bitch. Look, I can't be like bitch, don't call me no bitch. And then I'm using the word bitch. Like I'm just saying, like either we gonna do it or we gonna cancel it all or we gonna leave it alone. It can't be right for one and then wrong for the other. That's my personal opinion, and I stand by it. It can't be right for one and then wrong for the other. Let it all go. There's a plethora of other words we can call each other. A plethora. So let it all go. Treat everybody with kindness. Okay? Black folk, remember to treat everybody with kindness. You want us standing in solidarity when it's a Black Lives Matter issue? I need you to stand in solidarity when it is a Trans Lives Matter issue too. And not just when your sister, your son, your niece, and your grandbaby come out with the rainbow and then you want to get involved. Try to get involved when it don't directly affect you. That's what I'd like you to see. And don't just end it there. Take it further. Quit waiting for other people, i.e. celebrities, to be your voice. Be your own voice. Be your own voice. Now, here's some things that I did not know that he spoke about. And I'm not gonna lie, I teared up. I got really emotional when he was talking about his friend Daphne. And I remember a lot of the bloggers and content creators talking about Daphne and how she took her own life and things of that, well, thank you, boo-boo. Listen, Simone, it's the lighting. I didn't pay any differently. I didn't do anything different with my makeup other than the fact that I'm sitting outside and I got this natural light going on, honey. That's it. I don't know what to say, girl, but thank you. But I didn't like how, sorry, let me just back up. He talked about his friend Daphne, who was gendered, and how he met her and the relationship they had. And I thought it was beautiful because how many of us in the community have met somebody who was outside of our community and we had a connection with, and they didn't really care about us being trans or being white or being black or being female or being male or being any of these things. They just accepted us and rocked with us genuinely. And I felt like he rocked with Daphne genuinely. And she knew that his comedy was one thing and his personal was a different thing. And I'm still not taking away from that words mean things. And when you in a position of, when you have a platform, that you have to be mindful of the things that you say. I'm not saying that that's not the case. But what I will say is that the fact that you have to allow people to live in a space and allow people to know who they are. It's very easy to attack people when you don't know the whole story and you want to pick apart whichever chapter out of the Bible, out of the book of life, out of anything that you feel fits your narrative at that time to bring awareness for whatever it is that you want at that time. I'm just saying that. It's easy to do that. But to hear him talk about Daphne and the compassion that he's had, you can tell that he really cared about this particular individual. And I do not feel that he's transphobic. I do not. A joke is a joke. Baby, I'm going to sit there and if I'm with my friends, we going to joke on each other. That's the way it is. That's what we do. Some people not going to agree. I ain't nobody, so ain't nobody going to say too much about what I got to say because I ain't nobody. Well, I am somebody, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not a huge blogger and a huge YouTuber, so no one's going to say anything about what I got to say. They're going to feel some kind of way about it because it's not going to get them any press. But the truth is the truth. And if you're going to sit around here having feelings about every goddamn thing, Jesus, you're going to be miserable all the time. I got to protect my space. It wasn't that serious. And I feel, after reading everything that I've read about Daphne, this is just my assessment because I didn't get to talk to Daphne. I don't know what Daphne was facing. I don't know the things that Daphne was going through. But I'm pretty sure it was our own community that drove her and her own issues from our community, as well as probably some issues with herself being a trans woman that drove her to jump. It wasn't Dave Chapelle. That I can tell you. That I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it was the fact that she took up for her friend who she knew wasn't the way that people were presenting him to be. And that's hard. Because, when we stand up against ourselves, that's our own community. That can, you don't talk outside the house, honey. Okay, but bitch, you wrong. And if you wrong, you wrong. And if he's wrong, he wrong. I'm not going to say you right and you wrong. And she took her own life. I can't say it was the trans community, our community, that caused her to do that. I can't say that because I don't know what she was going through. But what I can say is that we have a lot of battles already in life. And you never know what someone's going through. And it's very easy to throw a rock and draw your conclusions on what someone else has said and thought. It's very easy to do that than to take a moment to kind of understand where they may be coming from. It is funny how people want you to do that automatically for them without knowing your story. You expect me to automatically respect you and the things that you go through, and I know nothing about your story. But then you won't give people that same grace. You won't give people that same space. And another thing that people do, they will often get on here and talk about. They will get on here and talk about the way they feel about something while hiding the bullshit they're going through in their own house. And hiding the shit they deal with in their own relationship. Come on, somebody. Let's talk about the bullshit you dealing with your relationship that you don't want nobody to know about your relationship, but you speaking against it somebody else is doing, but you accepting it. Don't get me started. Ain't nothing perfect out here, honey. Ain't nothing perfect out here. But it's how it's real easy when you go through some shit. You want these same people to understand. You don't understand where I'm coming from. Bitch, you didn't understand where they was coming from. So now you see what that shit feels like. I know what it's like to be, singled out in the corporate space. I know what it's like to be singled out in the personal space. I know what it's like to be singled out in Kroger's. I know what it's like to be singled out in Nordstrom's. I know what it's like to be singled out on Rodeo Drive, because bitch, I've been there too. I know what it's like to be singled out on Vegas. I know what it's like to be singled out on Dickinson Road, honey, where the toots be at, bitch. I know what it feels like to be singled out in all these areas of life. So I'm not taking up for anybody. I'm just saying I know there's a lot of different scenarios, and I've seen people get on here and act like, oh, this is not what you do, and you don't do this, and then go through the same type of bullshit in their own life. I'm like, girl, if you really felt that way, some of the shit you went through in your own life, you wouldn't have gone through. Let's just be very clear. Let's be very real. If we're going to talk about the process, let's talk about it. Let's be truthful about it. Let's be truthful about the things that we've gone through, so that people don't feel so fucked up and sad about the things that they've gone through. Give them some hope. Let them know that you've gone through things and you can identify. Girl, we got 8 minutes for being to an hour, and I need to wrap this shit up because I need a moment to chill before I get on the Jasmine's Divine pre-show to the Night of Shade with the cool down. Make sure you guys are rolling over to her channel, okay? And checking her out. Thank you, Nivea. These are my thoughts. These are my opinions. These are my views on what I saw with the Dave Chapelle show. I don't feel like he needs to be canceled. I don't feel like the Netflix needs to send any type of statement out. I don't see why the trans, me personally, after just watching the show, I don't see why the trans employees were so outraged. Me personally, I don't see why. Maybe it's because I'm 45 and they 25. I don't know. Maybe I done seen some shit. I'm not trying to, discount their feelings and things that they've gone through. I'm not doing that. I have no place to do that. They feel what they feel and their feelings are valid. I'm just saying that I don't necessarily see what he said was so wrong. I took it as comedy. If someone walked away from his comedic, his show, and they feel a certain kind of way, I can pretty much promise you them hoes felt the way they felt before they walked up in that damn show. He didn't come in and make a believer out of them, honey. If anything, he may have made them feel more comfortable, be more authentic about how they felt through his jokes, because they were just looking for a reason. They were looking for a reason. Just like a lot of people was looking for reasons to be racist with the past president. And I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway, you guys, love you, mean it, honey. Like, share, and subscribe, or block, whatever you feel like you need to do. I said what I said. I feel what I feel. I am who I am, and I still love you regardless if you don't like what I had to say. But life is real, is real. And somebody barbecuing, I wonder if they're going to bring me a burger. I know they hear me out here talking shit. Oh, that smell good. Yes, God. I think my sister's calling me. Hold on one second. Where you at? I'm live. I'm live on YouTube. What you got on? Is that a costume? It ain't Halloween yet. What you got on? What you got on? It ain't Halloween yet.
Hold on, T. She's taking her song, honey. She's the werewolf.
Okay. Well, I'm live on YouTube. I'm creating content.
All right, sugar, superwoman.
Girl, bye. They so rude. But anyway, girl, make sure you guys roll through and check out the Jasmine Divine show tonight, honey. We are going to be there kikiing and talking about a plethora of things. If you have not checked out my TikTok, I am the Savon Osborne on TikTok, honey. I'm not the Savon Experience on there, girl. I created that page too late. It's my backup page. But y'all make sure y'all go out there and listen. It's not gonna be this long before I'm back again. But this is just some shit. Y'all know when some shit gets on my heart, I gotta come out and talk about it. And this was on my heart, and I want to talk about it from my stance. I didn't want anybody else, opinions, judge and clouding mine. I wanted to watch the show. I feel like before you pass judgment, go watch the show. If you feel the way you feel, you have every right to sit in that moment and feel the way you feel. Your feelings are valid. However, please understand now, just be fair and love people, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all.